three words that come to mind when I think about Lights Out by Nevessa Allen are taboo, exciting, and funny. So this is a very different book, and I am going to be giving spoilers with this. There's a lot going on. You've got masked men, a trauma ER nurse, a hacker, the mob, Ted Bundy Jr. So a lot of different things happening in this, you know, kind of condensed book. It's only like 330 pages, I think. So a lot going on. There is a saying that I love in this book, and it's on the cover. It says, "The couple that slays together stays together," and I thought that was really cute. If you like true crime, this is also for you. It has like a lot of references to like Ted Bundy, but the serial killer in this book is what the main male character's father, and his name, he's called the Ken Doll Killer. So this story follows Allie and Josh. Allie is a trauma ER nurse, and Josh is a like legal hacker. So basically Allie is, you know, at work in the hospital. She's getting burnt out, so she reaches out to this guy that she's been seeing, or had been seeing, but I guess it had been a while for them. So she reaches out to him, and it's like, "Hey, what's up? Would you be interested in wearing a mask when we were together?" And the roommate was like, well, okay, so the roommate is the main male character's, the ex-boyfriend. So anyways, so she reaches out to this guy that's her ex-boyfriend, and he's like, "No, that's weird. I'm already seeing someone anyway." And he shows his phone to his roommate, like, "Hey, this girl reached out to me." And the guy he shows his phone to, his roommate, is the guy on social media that she took a picture of in this mask. He like posts videos and photos of himself in this mask and tries to be all sexy and sensual. And so she like is really into that and wants to incorporate that, but the ex-boyfriend, you know, is not really into it, and so they move on. Well, now that Josh, the main male character, finds out that this girl is into it, and he had already had a crush on her when they had met previously, like when her and the other guy were dating, he's like, "Okay, well, let me look and see like how much she really likes it." So he does all his hacker work and finds out she's been commenting on his social media posts and, you know, liking everything and watching his videos. So she had mentioned in one of her comments, like, "Oh, you know, break into my house and do this to me and whatever." And so he gets this funky idea to, while she's at work at the hospital, to break into her house, and he films one of his videos in her home. And she sees it and she's like, "Whoa, like I have that same room, I have that same bedspread." And then she gets home, he had left the mask on her bed, and she's like, "Whoa, this guy was here." But she freaks out, but instead of calling the cops, and you'll find that this is a trend, she decides like, "Oh, I'm gonna call my ex-boyfriend. I know that his roommate is a hacker and really good with computers. Maybe he can help me find this guy who broke into my house." Not knowing that the hacker is the guy, the masked guy. So it kind of like all comes there. So she reaches out to the ex, then she kind of finds out like, "Oh, this looks like the same guy," and so they kind of discover each other, the romance bonds, and then while she's at work and he has been like following her with like a camera, basically the hacker guy, she runs into this guy who is at the hospital, and he's in the hospital for getting beaten up for raping a girl. Bad, bad, bad. Well, he has gotten away with it several times in the past. The police like really haven't been able to do anything. So she just like really had like, was like, "Oh, screw this guy. Like, you know, who does he think he is?" And he didn't like the attitude that she had with him. So as Josh and Allie's relationship develops, one day they're in their house and one of the alarms, because he set up like a security system at her house, goes off. Well, this graper guy tries to break into the house. Well, Josh, the guy we love, he knocks the guy out. He punches him. He knocks him out. So he's laying on the floor, you know, unconscious. And Allie is like, what are we going to do? We can't call the cops because they keep not doing their job. They keep not, like, taking care of the situation. And Josh and Allie decide, okay, hey, we're actually going to take him tied up to his last victim's brother's house, because I think the brother is the guy that was trying to beat him up. So they try to take him to the family's house, like, they'll take care of him. We don't have to worry about that. Well, sweet Josh, bless his heart, he tries to act all tough, but he's not really. He accidentally duct taped the guy's mouth and nose, so he unalived in the trunk. Well, they're like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do with this body? And so, of course, her uncle is in the mob. They reach out to her uncle and it's like, hey, can we help you, can you help us get rid of this body? They do end up helping get rid of the body. Such and such things go on where, they have to, like, move some, what is it? Evidence around, and information to make it look like, he, like, ran off and wasn't actually unalived. So things kind of wrap up with the mob. They get rid of the body. They're kind of relaxed now. The story finishes out with, like, a nice little, like, romantic scene, if you want to call it that. And so it really kind of ended up being a good story. There's a lot more into all of that, but read the book. It's really exciting, and it is a very risque book, but I believe that you could skip those scenes and still get a lot out of the book. Like, there are several times in this book that I laughed out loud. I thought it was so funny. And I love mob books, and I had no idea that this had any kind of mob in it, so that was a nice little surprise. I like that. I would say the good parts, it's fast-paced, it's exciting. The games that they played together were really entertaining. Come to find out, he is vegan, and I'm mostly vegan, so I was really entertained by all of that. There's the cat in this book, and his name is Fred, and he is a little sweetheart, and I really feel like Nevesta Allen probably has a cat or is a huge cat lover, because he was such an important part in the book that I just thought it was adorable. A lot happened. So on the, like, con side of this book, I would say there could have been more character development, for sure. It was such a short book for everything that had happened. I would have liked to see, like, a little bit more play out, but it's okay. It's very entertaining, and I think for that purpose it's good. There are 2 sequels to it, and at this point in time I decided I'm not going to read those books. I'm going to move on to another book right now, and kind of just, like, let that simmer and enjoy Lights Out for what it was. And I think it was just, a great book. I would still give it a 5 out of 5. It's very steamy, but like I said, I think that you could mostly get away with, skipping those scenes if it's, like, too much for you. Otherwise, enjoy it, and it's definitely a mature book, for sure. I am going to be starting Quicksilver next, and so I will be providing a review for that soon. I literally just started it. I think I'm, like, just a few chapters in. So far, so good. It's different. It's got, like, more of, like, a fantasy vibe about it, so that'll be interesting. If you have any thoughts on Lights Out, any thoughts on Quicksilver, please let me know. I am excited to provide you with another review, and thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I will be back. Thanks.